Good evening, how are you doing?
Good. I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, nice and warm, thank you very much. You've been on tour with Nevermore in Europe the past months, but now you've come over to the UK to do just 3 shows. How come the rest of the tour didn't come with you?
That was something that wasn't under our control, and that was taken care of by Rock the Nation, and they had the bookings well in advance. We had felt that if they weren't going to go there, then we were going to come here and do some shows. We had an offer to go to Tunisia, which is where we're leaving for tomorrow after this show, and we felt the tour wasn't coming here, and we wanted to come here, so we did. Mm-hmm. It's always been a good response here in England for us, and we just wanted to make sure that we did stop here while we were here, so let everybody know, hey, we're still alive, and and we'll just set ourselves up to come back in the fall. Yeah.
And I gather you've been doing a few new songs in the set lists.
Yeah.
Have they been sounding good live?
Yeah, they've been going over really well. We've been doing The End of Innocence and Dehumanized, and we broke out a new one just for England. We debuted Prometheus, I'm Alive, which is another kind of a mid-tempo track off the album. So we've played 3 so far on this tour. We did play Heretic one night in Holland, I think it was, but we didn't play it any time after that. So we were just farting around with which songs sounded good and stuff like that, and it was a good opportunity for us to get out and try these new tunes out on everybody before they hear it. And in the perfect world, we would have loved to have had the album out, but we wanted to make sure that it was done right and that it sounded really good, and all that kind of stuff. So we were still getting the mastering stuff sent to the label while we were out on this tour. So it literally just got in their hands like maybe a week or 2 ago. So, and that's when we first heard it. It was at Nuclear Blast in Germany. So the tour's been really good for us to get kind of back on our feet after being off for a couple years, and coming here was a big boost to morale, because it's always good to come here and get a little taste. The similarities between us and you guys is really close. So culturally and and musically, we're kind of into the same kind of just kick-ass kind of shit. So yeah, a little more stripped down, and the band's always a lot more raw and live than it is on records. The records are very polished, so it's just good to get in front of a good, a rock audience, and a heavy metal rock audience that's like, just good to go and, ready to rock.
So, your new album, Iconoclast, I gather it's a double album. Was it too much material for one CD, or how did that come about?
Technically doesn't fit on a single CD. There's over I think it's almost 90 minutes or something. So the label decided, or I don't know who decided, to be honest with you, but it came to the point where we just decided to do like a double album and have like 40 minutes on the one and 45 minutes on the other one, or 45 and 45. I'm not quite sure how the hell it's breaking down, but there was talk about cutting some songs, and then so I mean, at this point I don't know what the heck's going on, other than that I know there is a lot of material, and it's probably going to end up being on this double album sort of deal, which I think is cool. I mean, the fans waited a while, so it's like, let's give them something, a lot of music and stuff, so it's cool.
Now, it is your first album with Nuclear Blast, so have they had any influence on the sound, or did they just let you get on with it? No,
they didn't. They love the record. They're really excited about it. They've written several times how much they like it. They had us at the headquarters, and we did the whole. They flew in some press from the area, quote unquote, to listen to everything. They have a listening debut, which was really cool, and the label's really excited about it, as we are. But they didn't have any input in terms of what what we did with the songs, or what we did with writing and recording the songs. We knew what we needed to give them, and we gave them pretty much what they wanted, and really much what we wanted. So at this point, the relationship's going great, and we're really excited about the potential of Symphony X with Nuclear Blast, since we've never really been on a I don't want to say we haven't been on a proper label, because we've always enjoyed good good years with our other labels, but these guys really seem to have it together, and they really know how to push the ball, down the field. So it's exciting.
Apparently the new album is about, the theme is about machines taking over the planet and that kind of thing. Have you been watching lots of science fiction films or something to influence that?
No, it just seems to be what's happening right now. It's a reality. I mean, it's not science fiction anymore. Everyone's interconnected through, portable information devices known as iPhones. And so as we get less and less social and more social networked, these are the tones of the album and things like this, commenting on social networking and of course the darker side of things of pulling pilots out of aircraft and things like this. Everything's going to become unmanned pretty soon, especially from good old the Empire USA and our lovely buddies, you guys. We're going to have a lot of drones out there, so it'll be like the Empire Strikes Back or something, But so it's like there's like all that going on. I mean, there is a sort of a machine level sort of awareness factor that some scientists are talking about. So I mean, we just figured it was really cool to have something contemporary and maybe slightly futuristic. We'd always dabbled in the past and all the ancient mythology and all this kind of stuff. So this was a kind of this is a departure for us in a lot of ways from that, but it's still Symphony X and everything. So
now, your past few albums, you've been able to record and produce your own albums as a band in your Symphony X dungeon. What does having your own recording studio allow you to do?
It allows us to take a lot more time than we probably should, but it's worth it because we're able to create at our leisure, and it's nice to have a flexible sort of schedule so everybody can get together and do what they got to do. It's definitely a plus in having the power to have a completely creative environment that's at your disposal 24/7 without incurring a huge amount of overhead to create the record. So financially it makes a lot of sense, and artistically it makes a lot of sense. It's just you can kind of fall in the trap that always happens of getting too involved in the stuff and redoing stuff and overdoing things, and that's just always been the problem with Symphony X. We overdo everything to the point where we're so disgusted with it we don't want to listen to it anymore. So, but in all seriousness, it's just like we do spend so much time on it that we know it's good. It's good. Okay, I don't want to hear it again. So, we take a lot of time in that studio to do what we got to do.
Now, apparently the band never played any live shows until the Olympus and Twilight album. Is that right? Yeah,
Twilight and Olympus. Yeah, that's correct. We had an opposite sort of thing where we would just do album after album after album. So we did we pumped out 4 albums in 4 years, and then we finally went on the road, and then the album cycle started to take longer because we were out playing. So yeah, that is true. We definitely flipped it. Where most bands tour heavily in the beginning, the label just wanted us to put record out after record out because they were in Japan. We needed to build up a huge base in order to afford the opportunity to go over there. So. So. Oh, thanks, brother. Anyway, go ahead.
Right then, I couldn't find anything about the name of the band. Who came up with the name, and does the X mean anything?
It's actually, you'd have to talk to Romy about that. He came up with the name, and the X doesn't really mean anything. It's just the X factor, I guess. Everyone thought it was the 10th Symphony of Beethoven and all this other hypotheses, and Symphony X just was a name I think that Mike and Tom Miller came up with, if I'm not mistaken. That was just whatever, like King's X or whatever. It's just the X factor, the heavy metal part of symphonic music. I mean, this is a lot of years ago, so that's pretty much what they were going for.
I don't know if you sort of sit down together as a band and decide which direction you want to go, but Paradise Lost was heavier. Where does the balance lie between pleasing your fans, being heavy and progressive, and your own personal tastes?
Well, the personal tastes always end up coming into play, and they eventually make it onto the albums in one way or another, because that's just because the way you're influenced. Oh, that's my computer rebooting. Sweet. I just did a full system restore, so. Anyway, yeah. So I mean, the bottom line is that there's a fine line between personal, input and what is expected of the band. I'm always looking for something to bring to the band that is not in the realm of progressive, whatever, metal or rock, because that's to me my job. I mean, if I went in there and started singing all these odd time frame stuff, time signature stuff, it just wouldn't work for people. So my goal has always been to make the odd time or the meter of things work against the odd time. So I'm always looking for the pocket within the part to have a vocal line, so it can kind of, it's singable. You can sing along to whatever I do. I'm not trying to, that's just the thing I've always done. But personally, I know that I have to, represent the lyrics as best I can through however much energy I have to put into the track. If I have to sing heavy and aggressive because the lyrics are like that, pretty much just dictated by what the words are. We go back and forth about different ideas and stuff, but the bottom line is that we all have a very good idea of what the goal is, and that's to make a record that's the next progression for Symphony X. We went from Paradise Lost to this new album. This new album is heavier, but it's got way more depth in the production. And the lyrics and melodies are really strong, and the songs are really strong too. So, that's my refrigerator telling you you got to go, because it's taking over the room. See what I mean? See, iconoclast. But so that's pretty much how it is. I mean, we're a slave to the song, man. I mean, if it's personally, if it fits us, great. If it's the band, that's the most important thing. We're a slave to the song, all of us. So.